Hi everyone, this is Heather Lottinen from the Flourish.Academy. This is episode 535, and today we're talking about wedding photographers versus videographers. But first, if you're watching this on YouTube, please share with your photographer friends, like, subscribe, etc. It helps us to produce more free content, and also make sure you check out the Flourish.Academy membership site. We have 12 courses, live photo critiques, a super supportive Facebook group, and enrollment is open for a limited time. Those links will be posted below. But I wanted to talk about wedding photographers and videographers because when I started my career approximately 17 years ago, I was heavily influenced by the pervasive thinking at the time, which was photographers are more important, the photos are more important, and it's us against them. There was just this general unrest in the community, and it was always very negative. And I mean, if I'm being honest, when I was young and new, I didn't know any better, and I bought into that. And when I photographed weddings with videographers, I was certainly kind to them, but I didn't go out of my way to be overly helpful. I did my job, they did their job, it was fine. But I did have a little bit of an attitude problem because, again, I was influenced by the network that I was in, and the photographers who had been in business for a while, were a little more established. I just bought into their thinking that, again, photography was more important and that they were just in our way and it was us versus them. But that never really sat right with me because I have a completely different philosophy in life, and I just had this uneasy feeling that it didn't need to be that way. I never felt that that relationship should be adversarial. And the reason is this: they have a job to do just like the rest of us. Why couldn't we, here's a novel thought, why couldn't we work together to do our best for the bride and groom instead of working against each other or thinking, oh, he or she is in my way and I need this shot and they need that shot? I think it just works it's much easier. Everything goes much more smoothly if we are cooperating as a team because we have the same goal. We want to provide the best for the bride and groom. So if that's the outcome we're looking for, why not come together as a team, again, instead of forming this adversarial relationship? Okay, the reason I'm bringing this up is because after I got over what I was seeing in the industry and I just changed my point of view, I wanted to make friends with as many videographers as possible because I wanted them to know that they had an advocate and that I was on their side. But the reason this is coming up now is because I second shot a wedding this past weekend with my good friend Michelle. Her website is meepittsburghphotographer.com. I think she's one of the premier wedding photographers in Pittsburgh, so you should definitely check her out. She had a very fancy high-end wedding this weekend and she asked me to shoot with her. And I was delighted to do so because this is all of the fun and none of the pressure. And that's where I met Wiley and his second shooter, his name is Corey, from Wiley Wedding Films. And they were fantastic to work with. So there's two photographers, there's two videographers. We spent the entire day laughing and having fun and sharing, and sharing stories and working, most importantly, working together to do our very best for the bride and groom. Corey and I were the seconds, in this gig. Michelle and Wiley were the leads, and we rode together to go to the groom's location to photograph the groom, the groomsmen, the family. We rode back together. We helped one another. We talked about where we were setting up for shots, such as, like the ceremony and the sparkler exit. So we worked together and we just had a lot of fun. It was just a great day. And I think that it can always be that way with the other vendors you're working with, that you should always be in cooperation with them, but especially the videographer, because again, we're both trying to get the best possible footage or coverage for our clients. So we were talking throughout the evening. Okay, I do have one funny story. Okay, I support all wedding vendors because I believe working a wedding is one of the toughest jobs you can have. There is incredible pressure and you cannot screw up. Whether you are the florist, the bakery, the hair and makeup artist, maybe you're the linen person, the entertainment, it doesn't matter. I think weddings are very, very challenging in that they can be, it's a high stress environment, right? There's a lot of pressure on the job. So I have nothing but respect for all wedding vendors. However, I periodically do like to poke fun at the bands. So we had the most amazing band on Saturday. Oh gosh, I wish I could remember their name. I should have looked it up. They were phenomenal. Okay, it was a 15-person band and they were incredible. If you're a wedding photographer, then I know that you can relate to this scenario. The band obviously shows up, they set up, they do their sound checks. The bride and groom are introduced. Sometimes, in this particular wedding, they did several dances prior to dinner. So the band will play a few sets, right? And then they'll take a break because they need dinner. They need to eat because they played a few songs. And we're sitting there like, I have been shooting for 8 hours in 95-degree heat with humidity. I'm ready to fall over dead. And I'm sorry, you need to eat? No, okay, listen, we're just having fun. It's just funny to me that we all go in this room to eat the vendor meals and the band needs to eat. And we're like, okay, you just got here. Anyway, what I did next, what I said next, I have dreamed of saying my entire life. I made friends with some of the band members, which I often do. I make friends with everyone. And one of them was sitting next to me while we were waiting to figure out dinner. It was kind of not normal. And we were talking and he said he was hungry and he was going to need to eat. And I let him go on for a couple minutes and I just looked at him and I said, "You're hungry?" And he said, "Yeah." And I said, "Oh, because you've been here for," and I looked at my watch, 30 seconds and you played a song and you're hungry. And okay, oh yeah, I mean, we haven't been shooting all day. It was fantastic. Okay, it's all in good fun. I love the band. I respect them. It's just hilarious to me that they need to take a break after. I don't sing. I'm not in a band. Maybe it's more, I'm sure it's more difficult. It was very warm that day. That's not the point. The videographers and Michelle and I had a lot of fun talking, and we just talked about our philosophy and our approach with weddings and working together to produce the best possible result. If you are going into a wedding with that adversarial relationship in mind, it is not going to go well for you. Why not make it easy on yourself and keep your bride and groom in your mind and not, oh, the videographer's trying to get in my way. No, the videographer, it's usually not thinking of you. The videographer is trying to do their job as well, and you need to respect that. And if you are kind and helpful and you talk to them and you respect them, you will get the same respect back and you will have a fantastic day instead of a day that you complain about for years because the videographer was in your shot. That just doesn't happen for me. And that's because I work with them, not against them. Okay, so at the end of the night, we were setting up for the sparkler exit. We shot a 10-hour day. It was incredibly long, hot, exhausting, tiring, all of those things. And this was our first wedding back in several months, so even more so. And as we were chatting, Corey said to me, I was explaining to him my philosophy and how I believe that, the Flourish Academy especially, but Weddings by Heather, the number one rule was to leave people better than you found them. And he saw me working with a few people and he said to me, "You know what, Heather? The world needs more people like you." And I paused for a second, truly humbled and moved by that statement. And I will never forget that he said that, because that is exactly my goal, is to touch people, leave them better than I found them, so that they understand that I care and that we're working together and that I love people, even the band members who are hungry after playing for 30 seconds. I care about them. I made sure that they had utensils. I care about everyone. I love to serve people. That's why I'm in the wedding industry. That's why I wear all black to my weddings. I want to look like a server, like a waiter or a waitress, because I'm serving them. I am there to do whatever they need. And I thought that was just a really nice thing to say, to work with a photographer and a videographer who are truly in collaboration with the bride and groom at the forefront of their mind is actually, I think, the way it should be. Which is another thing that makes the Flourish Academy so special, is it goes along with the same philosophy. This underlying philosophy isn't everything, my core values, which is I don't believe in competition. There are people inside of the Flourish Academy membership. There are people inside of Elevate, which is our coaching program for photographers who are growing their business. So it's our high level, high touch program. These people are direct competitors. direct competitors, and they are working together because we don't believe in competition. We believe in helping everyone out. You have your own business, you have your own personal brand, you bring something unique to the table. And so competition has never been an issue for me. It's never crossed my mind. There are wedding photographers who are way better than me. There are a lot of wedding photographers. I'm a wedding photographer. I can't photograph all of the weddings, and neither can they. So I don't see saturation in markets or competition as an issue. But if you do, you're going to struggle to grow your business because that's your limiting belief that there are other people that there's this limited slice of the pie, and there are other people who, if they get the job, you don't. That's just not the case. There's plenty to go around. And if you think about working with other vendors, specifically videographers, why would you not want to work with them, again, to produce the best possible result instead of against them? I would love it if you would share this with your photographer friends, because I know that there are people that disagree with this. I know this. Right now, today, there are photographers who are not going to like this video because they feel that photos are more important and the videographer should stay out of the photographer's way, and they are entitled to their opinion. But that is not what's in the best interest of the bride and groom. So you have to put yourself aside and think, what can I do to serve them? Oh, maybe I can work nicely with the videographer. Doesn't that make for a more pleasant day? We had the longest day ever on Saturday. Oh, did I mention this wedding was outside in that heat all day? 10 hours shooting on your feet. There weren't enough chairs, so we weren't sitting down. And we had so much fun working together. And it could have gone the other direction. It could have been miserable because there was 2 photographers, 2 videographers, and it was very tight. Everything was very compact at this wedding. And it could have been very adversarial. No, that's my position. No, I need to be there. No, you need to be here. No, we worked together and it was awesome. I hope that you found this useful. I'll see you in the next video.